to the First Off In My Opinion podcast.
You know how we do.
Tom Swoop.
Turn this up. Turn this up.
Hello, this is First Off In My Opinion. This is Tom Swoop. I have the lovely Nicole in the building today.
How you doing? I missed y'all very much.
So, what you been up to the last 3-4 years?
Oh, 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm. What else did I taught you?
God, I don't know. I can't even go back that far. Do you remember what you did like last month? How about 6 months ago?
Oh,
No, you don't.
I keep notes.
You know what? I should write stuff down. I don't know. Life has been happening.
So, what's your relationship status now?
What does Jada say?
Don't do it. Don't. If anybody knows, Jada Pinkett Smith is literally on the top of my shit list.
Oh, absolutely. She's always been toxic. She's been horrible. Will should have just... Sorry, Jay. I'm just keeping it a buck, but...
I think she the most completely destructive person I think I've ever encountered. Like,
Poor Will.
how do you feel about just being a woman? Is she a woman?
I could give a crap. It's them kind of women out there. I mean...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you guys have to do a better job at vetting because we're all not that bad. It's a couple unicorns out here.
You know you didn't never answer the question.
Which one?
What is your relationship?
I mean, what's your relationship status?
Oh, I'm very happy right now.
Are you in a relationship?
Very happy.
You in love?
Very happy right now.
You in love?
Yeah.
Stop playing. How long?
It's been a minute.
What's a minute?
It's been longer than 60 seconds, yes.
6 months?
Back to you, buddy.
A year? Oh, that's cute. High five. It's like futuristic. Did you want to love you?
He in the CIA.
You trying to get on your bending knee? You're like, what you trying to
He in NASA. What is
trying to figure out?
He got a security clearance.
No.
I'm taking.
When a guy says that, it's way easy for us. I think between men and women, I think,
Women fall in love way easier.
right. I think we say it first, faster, before you guys ever do.
We mean it though.
I mean, we do too. I don't know what that means.
No, y'all say it first. We mean it first.
No, we mean it. Yeah, we totally do. Yeah, me too.
Women be emotionally invested in the possibilities of men. When men really commit to the woman, he's invested in the whole person.
I don't deny that. You can have that, but I don't necessarily agree with that first part either. But I agree with when a man really is there, he's there. When a guy really is like, I love her, he loves her.
Have you felt that
What?
from a man?
That he loved me? Yeah.
Did you love him? What's going on now with that?
What? Speaking about me, are we doing like a generalized
Well, let's do generalization.
conversation here?
If you had to sit down and you had the loudspeaker and you had the ear of every black woman in America,
Okay, y'all listen.
what would you tell them in the advice realm of dating?
Bet. Don't settle. Wait. Be comfortable in your loneliness. That's important.
Does
things out.
but does that lead to complacency though?
Not at all. Because you shouldn't just be comfortable sitting there flicking through the TV. You should be self-working.
To do what though?
Get better. Get ready. Be prepared.
But okay, if you practice being alone, how is that making you ready to be in a partnership?
You're not practicing being alone. It's not what I said.
But that's what people are doing.
I don't care. You asked me to give them advice. I didn't say that. It's not what I said at all. I said be comfortable in your singleness. Unfortunately, right, we have to look at the possibility that everybody isn't going to have somebody.
But I think that's not the narrative being pushed.
I don't care. You asked what I thought here. You're talking to the unicorn. Remember that, all right?
You're the unicorn?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm the anomaly to the rule.
This is good.
You know, so when people understand that, then they understand a lot of life.
You had a singles group though, didn't you?
A singles group?
Like, didn't you have like a group of people you met with, like, and you sort of had like a group about?
No, I think a long time ago, the church I belonged to did a singles cup. So that was awesome. That was cool. I have a heart for the singles, though. Like, I really wish, and maybe one day down the line, it could happen if I have time or put that much into it. But I would love to be a matchmaker.
Most matchmakers are getting out of the industry.
I know, I don't care. They're probably just doing it for the money, but I'm actually like teen love. I still believe in it. I still think it's out there. I think it's great men. I think it's great women.
I have a live podcast taping coming up, and the name of it is Why Can't We Connect? You being in this realm of working with singles and having a heart for singles, what do you think the reason is why we can't connect?
But I don't subscribe to that philosophy. I think that we can connect. But
why aren't we?
For a multitude of reasons. And a lot of them are the wrong ones.
I think it's programming, but, you know.
I mean, I'm sure that, like I said, a multitude of reasons, right? I don't think that it's just a one size fits all, but I definitely think that it's factored in. I think a lot of people, can't connect is what you said? Why can't we connect? I think people connect because out of loneliness, out of desperation, because there's a child, because maybe your family or friends think you belong together, you know, out of necessity, out of need, out of fear. I mean, there's so many different reasons other than the right one.
In the group, what was a lot of the women's like complaint or man, either or?
I don't remember anybody necessarily complaining. Again, I think people just kind of spoke about what they wanted, you know, in somebody.
Are we letting the wants supersede the needs?
Shouldn't they kind of go hand in hand?
Not necessarily. Because if you want, let's just say if all of your wants are superficial and the needs are really what sustains a relationship.
That person shouldn't even be looking. The fact that the key word was all their wants are superficial, and you're not even ready.
People don't know that though.
Again,
like
this is going back to the self-work, right? It's like, it's not fair for that person that needs to do that to say that they want to be in a relationship. Because then you want this caliber man, but you ain't ready to have him. You're not ready to hold him. You're not ready to nurture him. You're not ready to be that woman for him. Because you got all these superficial needs or superficial wants, but none of the needs that he's going to need to sustain your lifelong relationship. So I'm not even, like, I'm sorry, but then people don't matter. They got to do the work. Man.
That's the dating.
And the work is hard, which is why people should chill out, you know what I'm saying, until they can. The Big Bang Theory. Bang, and meet the person. I mean, when you met your SO, was it instant? Did she grow on you? Is it that you're at a different place in your life than you were last year? Well, how did you get to where you were?
I think my story is not the typical story because of who I am and the level of emotional intelligence I have. A lot of men wouldn't be able to discern this situation. See, a lot of men still are on carnal instinct. She's beautiful. I want to have sex with her. Women look at men and be like, oh, this, and this. I want to be with him. That's the disconnect.
Totally.
And I hate to bring this up again, like we just using it as an example. A woman, you know, was just on the show like 3-4 weeks ago. She literally met the perfect guy for her, but he was 5'3", and she X'd him off the list.
Did she say he was perfect?
Yeah.
She used those words?
Mm-hmm. But his height. And I really feel like...
Then he wasn't perfect.
But is height one of the things you should count? Like, and that's what I feel like people don't know when we talk about this list or whatever. I feel like people don't know what is superficial and what is essential.
Or being the advocate here in this conversation for this girl with her height hookup, then keep it real and stand on what you want. That's not fair to call him the perfect guy, but you Xing him out because he's 5'3". Then he's not what you want. Then that's not it.
That's what I go back to. Is the want worth it? The loss. Is the want worth the loss?
Maybe it's not a loss. I don't necessarily subscribe to her saying that he's the perfect guy, because and no offense, lady, to whoever you are, but who in their right mind is going to turn down $1 million because you gave it to me in an envelope but not in a duffel bag? How old are you? How much time do you have? Maybe she's in her 20s and she got time. If she not,
No.
my point. So if she's okay, and it sounds like she is, with waiting on this journey to find somebody who's 80%, but they 6 foot, then keep it real then. It's not, don't call him, he ain't the perfect guy. He can't be. If that's what I want, I'm not turning that down. If that's what I want. But I'm solid in what I want and what I deserve to have because I know what I'm willing to give. And I'm okay with being where I'm at until that happens. But again,
okay.
Shout out to all the unicorns.
Too funny. So I want to say that there's a large contingent of women who are very smart, very intelligent, who have convinced themselves with intelligence that the path that they're on is correct. So the logic that, we using in this situation is almost thrown out the window because they're on a track of, I know what I'm doing.
But Tom, doesn't this go back to what I said 2 seconds ago when I said, unfortunately, people, and you said, well, people don't understand it. But I'm like, everybody ain't gonna make it, meaning everybody isn't gonna find somebody. It's gonna be a lot of single, smart women out there.
I believe you.
I know.
But I'm saying I don't understand.
Unfortunately, that's the hard lesson that they will have to learn.
So you saying it's a whole bunch of women, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
So you're saying
we're already on the bottom of the totem pole because there's way more you than there is us. I mean, in terms of, I don't mean like, I know there's more women, but I'm saying you guys have have more to pick from.
Yeah, to pick from.
So you're able to say, I don't want to date the tall girl, the short girl, the fat girl, the girl with the acne. You're allowed to say that, but the older we get, some of those things kind of have to be, well, what are you willing to put up with? What are you willing to kind of compromise?
So you brought up settling though when we first.
I didn't say the word settle.
Dang.
That gonna kill me. I'm right.
All right, so
Compromise.
you did bring up settle when you first start talking, and I'm so against settling more so than
Sure, me too. Compromise is different though than settling. But if you 60 years old and you're single, mama, you can't say you want the man in the gym with all the muscles, sweetheart. I mean, you 60, like your lifespan of happiness is real short. Whereas this 60-year-old man can get a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Look at homeboy, Pacino. I mean, he just had a baby with the chick. Is she like 21 or something? Like, life isn't fair, people. So you have to be smart. Or like I said, what did I say when I first let out? I said people have to be content in their singleness.
What does that look like?
Being content in your singleness, I mean, being happy with yourself, with where you're at, with where you're going, with the possibility that you may not get, which it may not come in the way that you want it to come or when you want it to come. A lot of us have this idea, I work in a high school, right? And these kids, I laugh at them because they go, what's your plans after high school? You're seniors, you're about to graduate. I'm going to go to college and get a job and work my dream. They got all of this and we all know. They gonna work like that. Godspeed. You know what I'm saying? That path just isn't that path. So you just kind of have to be content with, you got to enjoy the journey. It's about the journey. For instance, the opportunity for me to meet men is slim because I don't club. I refuse to do online dating. I kind of, my circle is smaller now in my 40s than it ever has been in life. So if I'm not meeting somebody in an organic manner, through somebody, let me put you on, or whatever the case, and then it's not going to happen for me. Because I don't want to bend. I don't want to enter into another dating pool where there's more potential people. I don't want to do it that way. So Erica, Nicole, has to understand how I'm limiting myself. I also have to understand that I'm 42. Things are starting to run out, if I want to have another child. That clock is it's a lot faster than my girls that's in their 20s and 30s. If there's, I'm a homeowner, but if that's something that I hadn't accomplished at this time, then it's kind of like, this is where my focus is. It's kind of like these different kind of bigger goals that I want to manifest and I want to happen, as opposed to meeting the man of my dreams.
So if you at 42 could speak to your 42-year-old self can speak to your 22-year-old self, what would you say differently? Or what would you educate yourself on?
How much I think 22, I was kicking it. I was living older. I would tell her to continue to do that, because I don't think being serious at that age is where you want to be.
So you feel like we should make the mistakes? And I feel the same way.
I think we should live. I don't think we should be in a serious relationship.
What age would you want to talk to yourself at?
33.
That's a good age. I remember.
Me too.
So what would you say?
Vet. Slow down.
When you say vet,
ask the tough questions right away.
I think a lot of people don't know what those are.
The deal breaker questions. And that's you looking inside yourself, right? So again, back to this self-work, people. Do the work. If you don't know what your deal breakers are, find out. Figure out what you don't want to deal with. Figure out what your 20% is. Figure out your bad habits, the things about you that you need to change, that get on people's nerves, the things that people have maybe said along the way, whether or not you agree with it, but just kind of just take a second and look at it. But then when you are able to do that, then you're able to vet and ask the tough questions. How many kids do you have? Do you want children? Do you believe in God? Are you religious? What's your religion? Talk about sex. Do you like oral? Are you a giver? Would you pray with me? Do you believe in going to see a psychic? Would you go see a therapist? Have you had any trauma in your life? Have you been raped? Have you had an abortion? How do you feel about two-parent household? How do you feel about sex before marriage? Do you work? Do you have any ambitions? What are your career goals? Does that come before family? Ask these mother freaking questions and then listen to the answer. And Tom, you might be a dope dude, but you know what? Something in them things you said, I don't sit with. So you know what? As much as I like you and you to make me smile and you brought me these flowers and my family loves you, keeping it real, I can't bend and waver on this. This isn't something da-da-da-da-da. You're not the man for me. I'm not the woman for you. We have two totally different how we're going to parent our kids. I want to spank them, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, be honest and stand on that. And you'll save yourself a lot of heartache and headache.
I'm literally constructing a whole thing. It's called Asked All the Right Questions. And a lot of the stuff you just brought up is on it. But part of what you're saying is, that self-examination of knowing that your bag of bullshit you bring to a situation.
You ain't perfect, and if you think you are, man. And that's another thing, man. What are some of your flaws? What are some things you need to work on? If they already think they made it. You know what I mean? Ask about what is your ex said, or what are some things some exes have fussed about you about? People love talking about themselves. So ask them kind of questions, or see how they respond about, well, tell me about your last girlfriend. Oh, that be da-da-da.
And my thing is, I always listen for the consistent description of your exes. He was this, and this. He's a narcissist. He was this, and this. He's a narcissist. He's the girl. You addicted to narcissists.
Or maybe you're the narcissist. A lot of times it be the reflection, but you try to pin it on him, but sister, girls really choose you.
Hey, that's real. And that's the whole thing about having a real conversation with yourself and then entering this real conversation with this person you're interested in. But if you're not ready to ask yourself these questions,
that's what I'm telling you.
You're not ready to ask another person, because all you're going to do is...
You're going to be defensive. You're not going to listen. You're going to listen to respond. It's going to be a problem. And also, I think a big one a lot of us really don't talk about much is, honestly, we need to slow down on the physical. We have to slow down on the sexual encounter, because it really does cloud things. And I don't care what the women out here say. The majority of us, because I don't need nobody saying me no hate mail, but the majority of us are not built like men. We cannot separate sex from emotions. I don't give a care what you say. And if you pipe us down really good, 9 times out of 10 in our mind, you already my man. Yeah, we ain't had no conversation. You haven't asked me to be that. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing has changed to something completely different. I have a lot of, I should say, I know a lot of celebrities, probably more than the average person would know and have. And the reason why we're still cool, I got personal phone numbers, I've been to homes and all of these things, I've met kids, but it's because I never crossed those lines. And it isn't because there wasn't chemistry, but it's because I understand what happens physically and how that alters a relationship when I give my body away. So if you like him, make him wait. And not to play a game, but because, just like I'm telling you, the woman also needs to do the thing to really see if this guy has these qualities or these things that you want in a man long term. And if you don't vet, and if you already slept with him, you already caught up. If she ain't asked you nothing, she's talked to you not about your parents, how have you been raised, have you ever been touched, how do you feel about kids? You might be dating a Chester and you don't even know it. Oh my God. What about the girl in Cleveland, R.I.P. Amanda, who was a well-known hairstylist, was engaged and her fiance shot her up, killed her because she was breaking off the engagement, but killed her in front of her daughter and her granddaughter.
Not all.
Like,
It be signs.
and that's what I'm telling you.
Definitely be signs. And we ignore so many things because, like you said, you go down that rabbit hole of sex and all this. Next thing you know, that's my man. We together. I work in childcare. You know how many times I've seen a mom come home Friday, pick up her kids. She got a new nigga. Then she got another. It's like, and they all be committed. Like, oh, he live with us. He this. You want to move somebody in with your kids that you just met Friday.
Literally.
It's
Laying in
Tuesday.
your bed.
Keep watching your kids. Driving your car where you at work.
So,
Look, I want to thank you for coming on today.
I loved it. I miss it. It's been such a long time. I've been in my season of privacy lately. Everybody, so I know a couple of people have reached out like, I ain't seen you post nothing. Not nothing really, you know, and I've taken a hiatus off of my podcast, but I'll be back.
Could you tell people where they can find you at?
Well, I do have a website. You guys check me out, enicole.com. Send an email, sign up. You can also find me on social media. I am eNicole Instagram, Erica Nicole on Facebook. And yeah, so stay tuned for more jaw-dropping, interesting conversation with none other than my man T Swizzle.
Listen,
Nizzle.
I want to thank her for coming on today. This is First Off in My Opinion. We out.